Imagine the sound of your boat literally ripping in half. Splintering fiberglass, a snapping mast. It's a noise you never ever forget. 1 second, you're having the absolute best day on the water. And the next, another boat is inside your boat. In the chaos, as the freezing water floods in, everyone blames the conditions or the steering. But the real reason the one investigators see over and over is so much simpler. And will make you so mad. The cause of most insane crashes isn't a broken part, it's a broken rule. It's the very first rule you should learn, and it's the one that almost everyone breaks at one time or another. So what rule is that, you ask? I'll give you some verbal and visual hints. Every single year, hundreds of people die and millions of dollars in boats sink to the bottom because of this one tiny mistake. According to the U.S. Coast Guard's brand new 2023 data, not paying attention and not keeping a proper lookout were the top 2 reasons for all boating accidents. This is the ghost in the machine of boat crashes. It's everywhere. It's devastating. And it's written into international law. But here's the craziest part. Most captains, from weekend boaters to seasoned pros, think they're following the rule. But in reality, they're breaking it every single time they're on the water. How crazy is that? Today we're exposing the truth behind this secret epidemic of negligence, the insane collisions it causes, and the brutal legal nightmare for the captains responsible. This isn't just about being safe. This is about a law so strict that saying, "I don't know," is no excuse, and the consequences can end your career, your money, and even your life, not to mention your boat. It all comes down to one sentence. This one sentence may be the most important rule on whatever body of water you are on, from a small pond to the largest ocean. It's known as Rule 5 of the International Regulations for Preventing Collisions at Sea, or COLREGs for short. Here it is in black and white right here. Take a moment and read it real carefully. It sounds super boring, but I promise you every single word on that sentence can cost you everything. So let's break it down. I don't care if you're in a giant super yacht or a tiny kayak. If it floats, this rule is for you. No exceptions. Second, at all times. And this isn't just for when it's foggy or you're in a busy harbor. It means from the second you leave the dock to the second you tie up. Always. This duty never stops. Finally, and this is the part many people get wrong, it says, by sight and hearing as well as by all available means. This is the legal hammer. It means you can't just use your eyes. You have to be listening for foghorns, for people yelling, or on another boat's engine. It also legally forces you to use every piece of tech you have. That means your radar, your AIS, your radio, and so on. This is why we often observe vessels spinning their radar array, even if it's a beautiful, clear day. You, as a skipper, are obligated to use every tool and every sense to build a picture of what's happening. It's not a suggestion, it's a command. And don't think this is just some remote international treaty. It's written directly into U.S. law. And if you break Rule 5, you're breaking the law, and the courts have zero chill when it comes to enforcing it. When a significant collision does happen, one of the first questions investigators will ask is, where was the lookout? If the answer isn't, we had a specific person whose only job was to be lookout, a crazy little known legal thing called the Pennsylvania rule kicks in. It comes from a U.S. Supreme Court case all the way back in 1874, and it flips everything upside down. If you violate a safety rule like Rule 5, you are automatically presumed to be at fault. It's then up to you to prove, with insane evidence, that your laziness could not possibly have contributed to the crash. Well, good luck with that. Your insurance company can literally void your policy if they prove you were negligent by not having a good lookout. The courts have heard every excuse you can think of, such as, I was the only one on the boat, or, but my radar was on, or, I was looking but I just didn't see them. None of it matters. The law is clear. Failure to maintain a proper lookout is negligence. So what does having a proper lookout actually mean? Because it is way more than just glancing out of the window. A proper lookout is a job. A lookout's duty is to scan, look, listen, and report by using sight and hearing. The lookout also has to be competent. You can't just tell your friend who's been drinking all day to be the lookout. That's not just a bad idea, it would literally affirm your negligence. So a human lookout is the law, but now technology is giving them actual superpowers. For years now we've had radar and AIS, which lets you see in the dark and track big ships. But they have blind spots. Radar can miss small things like buoys and derelict containers, and AIS only works if the other boat is sending a signal. But there are also new sophisticated AI-based tools that assist in identification. That little light in the distance is identified as a massive cargo ship. That thing your radar missed is flagged as a floating log. Overall, these tools are great because it makes the captain's job so much easier. But, and this is the most important part, this tech doesn't replace a human. Rule 5 has not changed. You still must have a human being on watch. Technology is an unbelievably powerful tool to help that person, but it does not let the captain off the hook. If this video made you completely rethink about how you assign or stand watch, or if you have a crazy story about a close call that a proper lookout prevented, please share it in the comments below. Your experience might literally be the wake-up call that saves someone's life. So it all comes back to that one simple rule. The number one defense on any boat isn't its hull or its engine. It's a human. It's a human using their eyes and ears, backed up by every piece of technology that they have. We've seen how just one moment of not paying attention or not knowing the law can lead to absolute disaster. And when does that lookout responsibility begin? And you know it now. It's as soon as this dock line gets cast off.